Alright, hello everybody. It's been a long time since I did a video. I just wanted to talk a little bit about equipment today. Hopefully you can hear me over all of the noise. This was my first Lortone. It's a Lortone 45C, and I've had it since April of 2020. Then I decided that I needed a little bit more, so I got the Lortone 33B here later in April of 2020. Then I added on another 45C later on in 2020, and then finally in February of 21 I added on a Lortone. This is the QT12. That, as you might note, is the same frame, motor, belt, bearings as the QT66. The 66 just comes with two 6-pound barrels, whereas the 12 comes with a single 12-pound barrel. So those are my 4 rotaries that I run. I have my grits and polishes in these Ziploc containers. I think it's good to have something with a screw-on lid. If you knock it over, the lid's not going to come off. I labeled each one with just a piece of masking tape. Have the 3-in-1 oil here to oil all the bearings. Back there in those containers, I have ceramic media. Some of that is new, some of that is used. I have different containers for new media and used media. I have a clipboard that I have each tumbler listed, and I write down what stage each tumbler is in with a date. I have a container here of borax that gets used in everything. I found that adding a tablespoon or more to each stage of tumbling really helps the grit to thicken up and make a nice slurry. Also, some of you may have wondered, that is my Lite vibratory. These little mini straps from Harbor Freight really help to keep this lid on. I messed up when I made the base and didn't fill in the concrete block holes with concrete, and the action really doesn't work as well as it should. So I stuck in a piece of old railroad rail or something like that, and I have a solid brick in there, and I have a chunk of something really dense. I think it's a piece of solid iron. Probably was part of a boat anchor. So anyway, by doing that, it makes this action work a whole lot better. So I use the Lotto for really my everything after the first stage. Right now, all of my rotaries are just running 60-90 first stage grit, and when I have something that's ready for the second stage, it goes into one of those buckets. I would like to experiment with using 4670 silicon carbide in this 12-pound barrel to get a little more use out of that, but right now I'm just using 60-90. So yeah, that's what I use. Now today I added on this Tripp Lite surge protector strip, and what's really nice about this is you can turn off individual rock tumblers just by using the switch, so you don't have to stress the cords by unplugging each one by one over and over. Not that I ever turn these off anyway. I leave them running all the time, but there's times when you need to turn it off. this cord here goes to the Lotto, and that was really getting old, reaching down there and unplugging it and plugging it back in. So now all I have to do to turn it off is just flip that switch. The light goes off, the Lotto quits running, and to turn it back on, flip the switch again. So that is really nice. And there's 6 outlets. I'm not using the 7th, so I have it turned off. The 8th, right, I can't count. 6 outlets. The 7th outlet is always on. And that's what I have my lamp plugged in. Not really worried about the amperage. I figured it up, and everything I'm using here is drawing about 5 amps of electricity, and this is rated, you know, like a standard wall outlet for about 15 amps. So that's a really cool item. It's by Tripp Lite. I found it on Amazon, and there's the box. And Tripp Lite makes good stuff. It's nice that it has a 6-foot cord as well. So if you come out here, and you know, I don't even have to turn the lights on, and I can see what I have turned on and what I may not have turned on. If you want to turn everything off that's on the search strip, you can of course hit this master switch over here. So that's real nice. Strainer, I have my stainless steel measuring spoons, but the only ones I ever really use, the tablespoon and the half teaspoon. And this is a wide mouth to use for canning, but I use that for my Lotto to feed the ceramic down in there so I don't drop it all in the sink. And over here, this is used ceramic media that's drying out. I keep it in this strainer to the side so it can air dry and get mixed up. And I also have some glass beads that I've used a time or two in my Lotto in the place of ceramic. Ceramic's around a 7 hardness, glass is around a 5. And the sink strainer that goes in the drain so I don't drop ceramic all in there or rocks. And it's also nice to use as a strainer for the Lotto bowl. So I think that's about it as far as showing what I use. Everything right now, like I said, is running stage 1, except, well, one of these two I have some, I can't even remember what it is, but I actually have something special in one of these barrels that I'm experimenting with. But everything else is just running your usual jaspers, quartz, agates, church, things like that in the first stage. And they run and run and run. All of these Lortones have run basically non-stop ever since I first got them in 2020 and 2021. Everything is on its original belt, original bearings. I have had to replace the boot gasket, and I believe both of these 45Cs and one of the 33Bs. But those are relatively inexpensive and they're meant to wear out. So there you go. Just thought I'd do a quick little update about what I'm using and what I'm doing, and share the really cool thing about this surge protector. That's a really nice strip that it makes life easier. You don't have to wear and tear on your plugs, plugging them in and unplugging them. You can just turn a switch off if you need to turn it off. So there you go, guys. Have fun and keep rolling.